sometimes responding to the world's people, difficult situations with bravery and confidence feels impossible. Effing politeness isn't a strict rule. It's a practice and an art you master throughout life. Think of it like a weapon you carry in your pocket. You learn to wield that weapon like a ninja in order to protect yourself. Being polite, sitting up straight, smiling, being nice and accommodating is what we're taught to do as little girls. Podcast co-host Georgia Hardstark from My Favorite Murder retells her story of fuck politeness. 19-year-old Georgia believes she has the world figured out. Georgia states in her autobiography, "Stay sexy and don't get murdered." I was a grown-up, goddammit, and I was confident my chutzpah and tenacity would get me through anything. So you can imagine how honored I was when Lawrence asked if he can photograph me. Look, I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is Lawrence? He was one of the guys, one of the regulars at the cafe I worked at. You don't have to say it, I'm already yelling at 19-year-old Georgia, the girl who thought she outgrew naivety. The dude you barely know asking to photograph you? That's a huge red flag. The riot girl in me was screaming in protest as the creepiness of it all. But the little girl in me, who was my mother's daughter, was flattered and said okay. I was basically a Gwen Stefani Spice Girl hybrid, and I was feeling myself. He mentioned for me to hop into his car, alone with him. Hello, red flag number 2. His car was like shit. There was trash everywhere and the upholstery was stained and frayed. Add that to the sweatpants and the dirty white t-shirt Lawrence was wearing. Did he always dress so solvently? But here I was. I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I didn't want to be entitled by judging him or his car. So I told him how excited I was and smiled politely. My intuition told me I'd been right to be afraid. It was terrifying. Plus, it was too late, right? Wrong? That's the politeness talking. But I didn't know it at the time. I was in a strange man's car, all alone, with no way to let anyone know where I was heading. My hands clammed up, my heart raced. My normal nervous habit of talking a mile a minute took over. How insane would it look if I just turned around and ran down the mountain screaming? Plus, he hadn't done anything wrong yet, right? I was being paranoid, right? So I decided to ignore my gut and just go with the flow. So when Lawrence put up the camera up to his eye, my intuition told me I'd been right to be afraid. It was terrifying. In my life, I've never had an incentive gut feeling that something was off. And I never want to forget or ignore it again. I thought of Linda and all the other girls who've been fooled into this exact same scenario by countless men over countless of decades. I couldn't believe that I was staring down the barrel of one of those unlucky ones who fell for a trick of a seemingly gentle man who turned out to be a monster. All because I dismissed so many opportunities to trust my gut and fuck politeness. The gentleman I thought I knew was gone in a second once he trained that camera on me. The man I joked with while bustling tables at the cafe, who loved his mother and real maple syrup all over his pancakes and always tipped me 20%, that man holding the camera was scary and evil. The look on his face was dark and soulless, and I knew where he was going to take it after the first shot. Scared and intimidated, I just wanted to get this photo shoot over and go home. I wanted to wash all this dumb makeup off my face, put some sensible shoes on, and act like a sensible girl. I thought I knew better with my fascination of true crime and my riot girl attitude to keep me immune from danger. But it turns out all the books, stripped tights, and baby doll dresses in the world couldn't keep me away from feeling exactly how feared I was and paralyzed, and I never wanted to feel like that again. Instead, I found out how easily even a badass feminist with a head full of cautionary tales can become victim. How charming people can be and let us put our guard down, just to manipulate us with their flattery. Just when I thought we were done and seemed he got in all the shots he wanted, I was starting to overreact. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe there's nothing nefarious in the stars for me today. And then he said, "Why don't you take your shirt off?" And that did it. Something snapped. I channeled the ghost of Laura Storbrook. I gathered all my radical energy, fucked politeness, kicked Lawrence in the dick, stole his car, and got the fuck out of there. The end. Alright, that's not true. That's what I wish I would have done, but the little girl who was raised to be polite was truly afraid of the outcome, and what would happen if I said no. Effing politeness didn't seem like an option anymore. There was a point in me that felt like I deserved this. That this was my fault. That I was supposed to be objectified and humiliated. What did I think was gonna happen when I said yes to this? A joyride? I felt numb and in shock, like someone else was inhabiting my body. I didn't feel like I was there anymore. I peeled off my blouse with the cherry blossom print, ruffles on the sleeves, and threw it in the dirt beside my vintage tin lunchbox purse. I did the same with my bra when he insisted. As he took the photos, I did everything not to let the rock in my chest transform into hot, humiliating tears on the verge of spilling over. When he finished snapping the photos, I slipped my shirt back on, stuffed my bra in my back pocket, and just felt disgusting. I've never been so happy to have a shirt back on. My bare chest was on a roll of film on his camera, which he could do whatever he wanted with it. But I couldn't think of that right now. I put those thoughts out of my mind. I was too embarrassed. Didn't have the capacity to absorb anything else. But sometimes responding to the world and people in difficult situations with bravery and confidence feels impossible. Fucking politeness isn't a strict rule. It's a practice and an art you master throughout life. Think of it like a weapon you wield and you have it in your pocket. Think of it as a weapon you can use as a ninja to protect yourself. Fuck politeness isn't about being kind. It's about standing up for yourself and making sure that you are safe, because being polite isn't the way to go.